Welcome to my video series called Diary of a Broke Black Girl. I wanted to make a relatable series, not just if you're black, but that just so happens to be my scenario, but This is a video series that I wanted to start to talk about money and finances and reevaluation of our relationship with money, investing, blah, 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 budgeting, all the things about it, because of the most recent financial difficulties that I had gone through. My diagnosis was a huge wake-up call for me. For me, it was really hard to ask for money from people. It was quite difficult and a little embarrassing, to say the least, because I personally just felt like I should have been in a better position to take care of myself in that moment, but I wasn't. And so I now see the error in my ways with my relationship with money previously, and I wanted to talk about ways I can make it better. And a disclaimer with this video series also is that it's not to call out anyone or anything or to make people feel bad about their money situations. It's a reminder to myself of the things that I've been saying aloud to friends and to myself, on, you said you were going to do that, so you should do that. And just sticking to what I said I was going to do. So having something to go back to and references to look back on my thoughts, it's just a good place. And I'm hopeful that some of the things we talk about, that I talk about on here, will help other people for what they're going through, because I'm sure I'm not alone. And one of the first things I wanted to discuss in this diary was reevaluating my relationship with money. Let's pretend money is a person that we have a relationship with. How are we treating them? Are we always borrowing constantly, sometimes paying back on time, sometimes paying back late, sometimes not paying back at all? Are we storing them in our savings and not touching it, ignoring it, doing nothing to help it grow and just thinking that it'll figure itself out over there? Are we big papa spenders? We get our money and we just spend it. We just, as soon as we get it, it's gone, and we say it'll come right back. It's money, it comes back. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like that dog that ran away and that never came back. If that sounds familiar to you, then we might be cousins, we might be Ken, Lissa. This might be for you. And so once we have evaluated our relationship with money, we then need to think about how are we going to change that. It can get better. And also let me note that by no means do I think that people's difficult financial situations are always all their fault. Like, look at the type of society we live in. We live in a capitalist society, that all it wants you to do is buy. All we're supposed to do is buy things. The things that we buy are supposed to make us happy. We're supposed to look at someone else's life and want their life. That's the whole point of the American dream. You're imagining something you think you're supposed to have when, that time back in the Disney when, you could buy a home for $40,000 or whatever, and off of your $2.50 salary. Like, we're no longer in that time. Heck, in my generation, I'm not expected to ever be able to own anything besides my body. And do we even own that? But I want to talk about, post the reevaluation of money, cutting spending. And I tell you, the number one secret that my mother has taught me my whole life, but I ignored her because I thought I had things all figured out, is you need to spend less than what you make. That's just the facts about it. The credit cards are not money. They are emergency funds. It's emergency borrowed money. And looking at and just spending just what you have is what you got. And not using people either. I am all too familiar with people who let other people pay for things for them and they never give that money back. And they just live their life all free because they're using other people's money, and that's not right either. But also within evaluating your relationship with money, it comes to thinking about the things that make you happy and maybe even re-evaluating what we define as making us happy. If we can only be made happy from tangible things and that instant gratification, maybe we need to reevaluate, what we think makes us happy. And when it comes to reevaluating those things that make you happy, we can tend to relate it so much to living day to day, like just living so much in the moment and forgetting, preferably, we want to grow old, right? We don't want to die young. I want to have kids. I know I'm going to have kids. And so now I want to live my life preparing for the future. For my 20s, this is my last year of my 20s, so which is probably why I'm having these realizations about life. But I was living so much day to day and instant gratification. I want this right now. This is what's going to make me happy right now. And now I see, one, those things didn't make me happy. Not for a long, they give you that dopamine boost for a few days and then it's gone. Because they didn't truly make me happy. What things that make me happy is hanging out with my husband, going out and being in nature, talking to my friends, us laughing and stuff. I appreciate those things way more than tangible things. But the problem I had that I had to cut back post the diagnosis was I was a product junkie. I was addicted to skincare and hair care. And I just, if I see something new, I'm like, oh my God, I have to try it. I got to try that. When I know that the stuff I'm using works just fine. Like I found, all the products I've tried, I know it works. I still break out that there ain't nothing that's going to stop that, But, so I'm not judging anyone. I do these things. But we can correct these behaviors. So with that, evaluating money and how we spend it, what makes us happy, and thinking of things outside of tangible things that make us happy really helps. And I know self-expression has now been, it's directly correlated with money. You see someone who has your aesthetic, who looks like the vibe that you like to look, and you want to look like them too, because that represents you, and you got to buy things. But you probably already have the things in your closet that represent who you are and that don't make you not true to yourself. So do you need those new things? Look at all your subscriptions. How many subscriptions do you have? How many do you really need? Do we need that Ipsy subscription? Do you need 1,000 tiny Ipsy travel bags? Do we need the Fenty underwear subscription? Having the latest and sexy panties here and there. Do we really need it? We really don't need it. So, just looking at these things, and it's okay to just take a break. Even for you, if that's a few months, if it's easier to just give yourself a 3-4 month break, because that's how you really see the difference. Is this working for me? Because to get to that number one goal, which is spend less than what we make, we're gonna have to cut those things out. Yeah, you think, oh, it's $6.99 here, it's $7.99 there. That adds up. So, after we look at that, you'll start to be able to reap the benefits of how you're able to like spend a little bit less. And then we can figure out some next steps. Also, another little thing that I've noticed makes it where I'm able to spend less. We all know eating out is expensive, but what we don't know is that eating at home can accidentally be expensive too. If you're looking up a recipe all the time and it requires these little niche ingredients that you probably won't use again, it may be a good idea to substitute some of those ingredients for what you already have in the kitchen, or with something that you'll use again. Because you spend $10 on a specialty seasoning, or $15 for this super special sauce that you only need this much of, and you never touch it again. You just wasted $25. It could go like that. It just sucks that I had to go through cancer to figure these things out, but it's what it took. And if it wasn't for the love of the people in my community and who so graciously donated to me and reached into what they had to help me out, I could not be sitting here making this video today. I feel like my way of paying it forward to not only, of course, helping someone else who runs into this situation, but starting to talk about the important things. I know that influencers got to get their buck, and their job is to make money off of selling things. But maybe too, it's okay to cut back in how many influencers you're following who are telling you to buy, because all it does is encourage us to feel unsatisfied with our lives. I'm not shitting on their hustle, but do they sometimes make you feel like you're inadequate? And I'm here to tell you, you are enough. You are enough. You're doing great. You are living life as best you can where you are. But we can do better together. Let's do better together. And let's figure out ways to make our money grow ethically. Let's buy things. Also, if we need something to buy, let's shop ethically. We can take care of our planet, be considerate of our brothers and sisters that are struggling and in difficult situations, and not supporting companies that are making those people's lives harder, while at the same time being happy with ourselves and feeling satisfied and feeling a part of society. I'm not saying we need to recluse into a hermit shell and act like nothing is going on in the world, but we can figure out new ways to be happy, and let's learn together. And I'm watching these videos on how to, save money. I'm reading a lot. I keep up with different financial things. For years, I've been looking at these stuff, but really implementing them into my life. And there are some things I've seen, y'all, where they're like, we can take your money, we can help you grow, we can show you how to save and do this and that for the small price of $4,000. And I just think that there's a more helpful way we can all figure out how to take care of each other, how to take care of ourselves financially, how to make our money grow, how to prepare for the future without making ourselves go deeper broke. Because I'm broke, and you telling me to give you $4,000 to help my money multiply, so I got to go deeper in debt? That just don't sound right. And I think we can figure some ways out. So this video diary series is also to grow, fail, succeed all together. I want it real time. I'm honestly bored of here is me successful and these are the things I've done. I want to create something new where we're seeing the real time success growth. Because I think that's just a lot more relatable. It'll kind of be like I'm going from my TWA afro, to 5 years later, it's flowing down my back. Let's do that with our money. Let's do that with our pocket. I don't care about growing my hair anymore. I care about having a future with my little embryos that are frozen right now. I want those things to grow and be full humans and be able to take care of them and live a happy life with them, which revolves around money. Now, if you don't see having kids for yourself, that's okay. Life isn't about immediately making a family, but maybe you plan on growing old. Who's going to take care of you when you're old, and how are you going to be secure when you're old? You got to have some money. So we're going to be talking about that through this diary series, and I hope that you took some notes that help you out with today, because I'm following these notes, and let's reap these benefits. But next episode, we'll be talking about budgeting, the things that work with it and that don't work with it, and how we can use it to our maximum advantage. So thanks for joining me today, and I will catch you for episode 2. Bye.